Hey guys, it's Cody, and I think I'm finally ready to do my bullet journal video. Because I have ADD and health issues such as migraines and stomach issues, I need my bullet journal to be functioning. So 2 key words while working in my bullet journaling is streamlining and processing. So if I'm processing something, it's so I can streamline it later. If it's me streamlining something, it's so I can process it later. I think you'll be able to see those keywords as I go throughout my bullet journal. So the biggest area you'll see that is, I think, in the key. Anytime I write anything within my bullet journal that is not a date or a title, it gets one of these indications. I use an open circle because it can quickly become anything else. I also like to actually physically check off when I've done something. That's just my personal preference. I use a strike through for when I've canceled something or considered something irrelevant, an arrow for migrated, a flower, which the circle is inside of, for a memory or journal note, and a star for a mental note. I don't use an index because for me this isn't about referencing information, this is about processing information. So I don't really need to refer back on anything I've written in here. If I do, I've either page flagged it or moved it forward in my monthly reflection / monthly log area, which I'll get more into when we get in there. I also don't do the typical future planning. I make a note of that event or task and the time on my daily log as it's been presented to me. So if today somebody said, I'd like to meet with you on the 21st, I'll write meet with 21st time. I then go ahead and schedule it either right then and there into my phone or when I have a free moment. By scheduling it into my calendar, I'm able to set a reminder for as many days or weeks or hours as I need as to remind myself. I leave a few pages blank just because I have a little bit of a blank page fear that, like, if I don't leave a few blank pages, I might have a collection that should go up here. It's more just old habit that I'm trying to break. I go straight into my monthlies. Now I'm going to flip to my current month because it's easier to see what I'm currently using. So I have a mini monthly calendar that runs Monday through Sunday. My brain works that the first day of the week is on Monday, and the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is when my partner has off. That's how I work. I did the same thing in school because we went through school Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday were off. When I was in college, it was Monday through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were off. The only time that I tend to use color is when I'm processing something. I don't try to use any color when noting any of the information down while I'm processing because it distracts me too much from getting those thoughts out of my brain. So you'll see a lot of color within my monthly setup area. July happens to be red. These numbers on the side of the calendar here note the week number. This is more for my project life and photo organization area on my computer than it is an actual anything to do within my bullet journal. My monthly task is set up a little bit different than Carol, the creator of bullet journals, suggests. I use it more as a way to track what I want to do for the next month to set it up, along with just a few house tasks that I would like to get done within the month. I don't tend to refer to this page throughout the month. It's just once a month that I go at the end of the month and I'll write in the information that I need. The next page I have is the budget and wish list. The budget and wish list is not my current overall everything budget. I have a specific area for that. This is just for my art or my free spending. As you can see, it is the 16th when I'm filming this, and it'll probably be even later by the time I edit this. I haven't filled it in. I'm thinking in August I'll probably drop this and maybe just keep the wish list. It says June, but I know it's July because it's in red. This is for my goals. Now, I tend to do my goals in a mind mapping way. And I like visually seeing what I need to do for that month in a mind map way. It gives me a chance to really get detailed if I really want to. I do that on a different piece of paper, and then I refine it here. And these I get pulled from both Future Task and from my one little word. The other last page I have for my monthly is the biggest area, I think, and the key component of my bullet journal, which is the open task. Because my bullet journal, I don't see it as a planner, a journal, or note-taking. It is simply for me to process and to streamline my thoughts. This is where I capture all of that happened. So what I'll do is when the new month arrives, I'll go back through the previous month and find all of the tasks that I have left open and move them here. If they're a collection that I'm still looking back on, I'll note the page numbers at the end of the title. This is kind of my way of getting around indexing without actually indexing, because I'll know that I don't need to go back in these pages unless I'm looking for a specific page. From here, I go straight into my dailies. As I said, I'm trying to process and streamline within one bullet journal. So I often try to just write all of the gibberish that goes on in my head to process it either within that moment, later that day, within days' time, within weeks' time. This is just capturing my now. So I start with the date and the day at the top, and I know it's in July because this is the July setup. I then write my task for the day, whether it's in the morning, whether I start it in the afternoon, or whether I do it within the next day. The point is I'll leave several blank lines after I get done with my day and start the new day. So you can see I have a few blank lines after Wednesday into Thursday. That's because sometimes as I go throughout my day, on Thursday, I'll think of things that happened on Wednesday. So I like to have a little bit of extra space. The reason I don't start a new day per page is that's too much like the Hobonichi. And if I were going to do that, I think I would probably just go straight into a Hobonichi. And it also distracts me because I'm like, oh, well, as you can see here, Friday I did nothing. So it would be a blank page for that day. Now, I can tell probably pretty quickly that nothing probably happened this day because of my health. I probably should have wrote that, but it's past now, I can't. But I probably would have noted bad health day or some event that prevented me from tasking all of the things I got done. Or I was just too busy and I just didn't feel like filling it in. That's fine too. This is okay. Having a whole blank page is not, because I don't want to spend hours coming back and filling in all of the pages I might have missed on days that I was sick or days that my ADD distracted me too much to sit still and fill it out. Another thing to note is I have kind of an interesting way of using visual reminders. Now, some people might consider this creativity. Some people might consider this art. To me, this is a visual reminder. I call it that because it's my way of processing that information that I was given in a visual way. I'm streamlining it by not allowing a ton of color or a ton of creativity. I don't have washi tape, I don't have stickers. I just have a visual reminder of whatever it is that I need. So I'll flip back here and show you another visual reminder. I have a dashboard inspiration page that I wanted to take these die cuts and put them together on a dashboard in my art journal. Well, it was late, and instead of getting up out of bed and going and doing that, I decided to capture that idea and put it here. Then in the morning, once I've processed this information, I can decide if it was worth it or not to do. I also have sketches on dreams, and I also play Minecraft, so once in a while I'll have a build sketch in here. Now, I don't consider this creativity or art because I'm processing something. There's thought, there's a note, there's information behind this. For me, creativity is expressing myself in a way that is without thought, or a way without, there isn't a logic behind it. It's just me putting things together. This was me actually logically counting out how many I wanted to do and what it would look like if I finished it. So I wanted a rainbow. This is a typical arch rainbow. But this was kind of how the Minecraft version would look better than this version because I wanted it to be functionable. The point is, to me, I was too busy focusing on the thought and the process to enjoy using this as a way for creativity. Same with, let's see if I can, same with this. This was me in the morning realizing I had a dream and I was trying to process it. I wasn't worried on what it looked like. As you can see, when I drew it the first time, the sleeve was too short. This was me just visually reminding myself that I need to process something. A day so or later, I realized that I actually didn't have to. But the fact is that I worked it out on paper. This is another idea that I had. I was kind of processing information about camp and kind of like inner workings. And instead of writing a journal page, which actually happens in another book, I decided that I wanted to visually remind myself of those thoughts. Do I know now what I was kind of thinking about? No, because it's not about looking back and remembering everything. It's about capturing the right now so that I can process it and streamline it into an action. So I was able to write out in the next couple of days what it is I was trying to figure out during that visual reminder. So the same here. When I went to class, one of my art classes, we were doing hymn. Now, as we were setting up, I realized that I wasn't sure where to put him. Technically, I'm not processing anything about him. His name is Mercury, or Hermes. But as I was trying to figure out what book to put him in, a ton of thoughts popped up. Well, if I put him in a sketchbook, then that's going to be my designated sketchbook. Or I should put him in, a Hobonichi, but the Hobonichi is the wrong size. Or what if I wanted, and it became a spiral of thoughts. What I call a carousel. My carousel of thoughts were going super, super fast. So I realized that I was over processing and overthinking, and because of that, I stuck him in here. I don't need any information about Mercury. There's the internet. I don't need to do a whole elaborate page on any of the information. I just wanted to process how to sketch. And so because my brain was sketching in and creating chaos, because I wasn't sure where to place him, I put him in here. When I go again to my class and I want to sketch, I might sketch it in here. I might have processed from this point to then that I need a different book for that information. So that's how I kind of work things in my brain. When I get to a new day, I'll skip a few lines and just write it out, and I just work one page at a time and one idea at a time. I try not to get distracted while I'm working in this, and that's why I don't count this as my art journal. I don't count myself as being creative in it, because I don't want to forget a thought, especially since I have migraines and I have silent migraines, so I don't know sometimes that I am processing correctly until I've written out a bunch of gibberish. So being able to have a place to come and see all of that in a streamlined manner is best for me. I think that explains how I use my bullet journal. Please give me a like if I explained it correctly, if it makes sense, if it's understandable and I wasn't distracted. If not, please leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!